Hey guys, welcome back to the Project B-Ball podcast. My name is Akar Singh.
My name is Ray Minungi. Guys, welcome to the new phase of the Project B-Ball channel where we're pulling out more shorter content, but we'll still have our longer content, like explained in the last video. Today, we're continuing with the start bench cut theme, and we have an interesting one. This is an all centers like theme for today, right, Akarsh?
Yeah, centers. And some people say one of the players is power forward. I agree with that, but Ray has the opinion. But yeah, let's continue.
So we're gonna start off with the young guys first, and then we'll go to like the legends, obviously. Right now we have Mitchell Robinson, Bam Adebayo, and Jared Allen. So first we're gonna just go from their career so far, and then after that we'll go. If we're gonna go career so far, this is hard.
Bam obviously stands out, but between the other two, it's pretty different.
No, but like the thing is, Bam only had one good season. For real.
And nah.
Yeah, but that
he's been the center on the Heat. He's been the center on the Heat, the main center on the Heat for a while now. So I don't think it's just one good season. He's been better than Hassan Whiteside since he was a rookie.
Okay, I'm gonna go Bam, Mitchell Robinson, and cutting Jared Allen. For so far.
I'm gonna go Bam. I'll go Bam, Jared Allen, and cutting Mitchell Robinson.
Okay, there's obviously a Brooklyn Nets bias here, but yeah. He's he's a Nets fan and he doesn't like any Knicks people, right? So like, you know how
you know
how it goes, right? So
it's not like I despise people in the Knicks. It's just that I obviously think Mitchell Robinson has a great ceiling, high ceiling, but I think that Jared Allen has been playing really good for the Nets as a great young piece. And obviously the Nets didn't have their main guys this season, that being Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They had Kyrie for a little bit, but Kevin Durant wasn't there the entire season. And I just thought that he really blossomed in that and played pretty well this season.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a discussion to be made for Mitchell Robinson being over Jared Allen, but in my opinion, I chose Jared Allen over Mitchell Robinson. So yeah, continue with it.
Yeah, between those two, just between like the playing time, because honestly, those two don't get the playing time they deserve. If I'm being honest, but I just like more what Mitchell Robinson has done in his career than Jared Allen. But they're both very similar players. Just like now, we're just gonna talk about the ceiling. I think for me, if we're going ceiling wise, I'm gonna go the same way: Bam, Mitchell, and cutting Jared Allen. Because I see Bam.
You think Jared Allen doesn't have a higher ceiling than Mitchell?
Dude, Mitchell Robinson low key is like the next Rudy Gobert, but better.
Yeah. Okay.
I see Jared Allen. I see Jared Allen plays the next Rudy Gobert too. They're both like the exact same players.
They're both exact similar players, but the playing time, like you said, I'm gonna go stick with my original list as well for the ceiling. I think Bam has a great offensive offensive presence. He's 6'9", which is an unusual height for a center, but that just makes him more agile and faster and quicker than his competition. So I think Bam would have the highest ceiling, then Jared Allen, and then Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, so I think when I'm going by ceiling here, I see we know Mitchell and Jared Allen. This is the main discussion. We all obviously know Bam's gonna have the higher ceiling, right? Between those two, like the way I deduct it, because they're pretty much the same exact player, it's just like who is better at defending like a 4 or a 3 position, right? And I would say Mitchell Robinson is a little quicker on his feet than Jared Allen. So that's why I say he has a higher ceiling. Yeah. So
okay, let's move on to the next one.
The next one is like a historic one with Shaq, Hakeem, and Tim Duncan. Some people say Tim Duncan's like a power forward. I would argue he played center most of his career. He was called power forward because of a loophole type system there. But this one we're just gonna go straight full career, and this is gonna be causing some controversy because we're cutting out a top 10 players of all time almost, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Any way we go with this, there's gonna be people that are mad. It's a difficult decision for us as well. But without further ado, let's get to it.
Oh, Shaq and Hakeem wore the same number?
Yeah.
I'm starting. Oh wow, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm starting Tim Duncan, benching Shaq, and cutting Hakeem.
I was thinking the same, except no, but Hakeem is like too good to cut. I mean, obviously this is a difficult decision.
As you think a little bit, let me explain my why I did it.
Yeah.
So the reason why I started Yeah, I started Tim Duncan because if I were to rank the best players of all time, which I probably won't do, like we're probably never gonna see a video of us ranking like the top 10 best players of all time because it doesn't make sense because you're not ranking these guys properly. You have to. There's like no fair scale. That's my opinion on like these GOAT debates. There's no fair scale to do it. Like
yeah, I think so too with the GOAT debates because what Renee also always tells me like what do you take into consideration when you're talking about a GOAT, right?
Yeah.
There's championships, there's the points. Yeah, continue, Renee.
Yeah, but if I were to say like, I would say like Tim Duncan. Like if I add like everything together, right? He people call him like the most boring player ever, but he has like the best fundamentals. I think him in his whole career, I think he had like even I can say this about a team. It's just like I'm taking like their peak and how long they had their peak for. You understand what I mean, right? Of course.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, Tim Duncan was in his prime for a while. He won 5 chips. That's a valid argument for sure.
Yeah, so I think he was in prime for at least 10 years. I would say that he was like amazing. He won 2 MVPs, 5 chips. We all know his accomplishments. So I gotta put him first. Now the Shaq and Hakeem one, people will argue that Hakeem's prime was longer, right? I would argue the same thing too. But I would argue Shaq's peak was greater than anything ever. Right? Like
that's
people
true.
call him the most dominant player in those 3, like in NBA history over a span of 3 years, like over Jordan sometimes, right? So like his peak was like highest ever, right? And he still had a long, good career, right? From like his Magic all the way to the end of the Lakers. I don't think he was that great in Miami and Cleveland and Boston, obviously, but like he still had like good long prime. Like I think Hakeem had it a little longer, but just at his absolute peak, Shaq had it higher than Hakeem. Even though Hakeem did beat.
Yeah, and I think Shaq's prime started a bit earlier too, wouldn't you say? With the Magic days.
No, Hakeem's second season almost went to the finals.
Okay, yeah, now I recall.
No, they went to the finals. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go with the same thing Renee said, but my reasoning is so obviously all these players are top 10. You're gonna have to throw away some of their stats, and you're gonna have to go by their accomplishments and how long their prime was, just like how Renee said. Tim Duncan has won 5 championships, and he's probably been the leader in most of those, the majority of those championships. He's been the best player, hands down. His prime was longer than Shaq and Hakeem. That's a fact. And yeah, the Spurs have just been dominant for much longer than any of Shaq's. Well, actually, no. The Lakers were. What do you think? Do you think the Lakers were more dominant than the Spurs when Shaq was on?
No, but like it depends. Like the first 3 years of the 2000s, like the Lakers were like the team to beat, but then afterwards, like the Pistons and the Spurs like took over, right? Yeah.
Okay. So I'd say that first Tim Duncan, then I would bench Shaq and cut Hakeem. I know it's kind of hard to say, but for me, I thought that obviously Hakeem is an amazing player. He brought the 6th seed Rockets to win the championship. That's a big achievement right there. That's just showing that Hakeem is one of the best players to ever do it. He brought a team that was a 6th seed in the playoffs, winning the championship and all that. But I just think that Shaq's accomplishments are a little more, how could you say? He like Renee said, he's just a little more dominant than Hakeem. That's what I would say. And Shaq has definitely been known to be called the most dominant player of all time. So that's my reasoning. Hakeem is obviously great. He's a great player. But I think I'm gonna bench Shaq and cut Hakeem.
Yeah, I agree with you, of course. It's just like I took it more like peak and like how long their primes were. I think this one is like a kind of a hard one. If you guys find more of these on the internet and want us to try it, we'll definitely try it. With all-time players, it's kind of like difficult because anything we say will be people will either hate it or love it. You know, like depending on who are you a fan of and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think this was a good video. This was more of a center team. We're not every time we do start bench cut, it's not going to necessarily be team. It was just a coincidence that it was just center team today. But I think this was a good episode. Is the last one with the center of like all three of the great centers. It was just kind of hard because like, low key you can honestly make an argument for any way possible, right? Karshi, would you agree?
Yeah, you can make the argument that you would cut. You can make the argument that Shaq would be starting. You can make that argument easily. But
you can make an argument Hakeem should start. Like you can make that argument.
You can make an argument Hakeem should start. Yeah, exactly. It's all subjective. It's based on opinion. But by the logic we were going back today, we came up with this. So, hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you guys for listening. Bye.
Bye.